Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Pod Line. I am back this week with the Sew Down. This is our monthly roundup of stuff we've seen, sewn, read, listened to, all in and around the world of sewing that we think you guys would find interesting. I've got some really good stuff to talk to you about and I'm gonna get cracking. So the first thing that I usually talk about is a couple of designers that you may not have heard of. I have got two really good ones to talk you through this month. So the first company, which I'm sure many of you will have heard of, is called Atelier Scamit. Scamit, I think that's how you say it. It's a French company. They have got, how many? Quite a few patterns. 4, 8, 12, about 20 patterns, paper. We just started stocking them. The sizes are 6 to 20. I just love their style. I mean, the French seem to do it so well, don't they? So I'll show you some pictures, but yeah, really beautiful, really chic, quite minimal, lovely designs, and I think kind of really good wardrobe basics. So I think this, if you haven't checked them out, there'll be links down below so you can go and have a look at everything I've talked about. So next up we have got So La Di Da Vintage. This is a UK based company based actually in the southwest of England. She specialises in vintage inspired patterns. She has got, again, about 20 patterns, and they really vary in terms of the I guess the period of history that they're kind of inspired by, I would say. But yeah, they're really almost the polar opposite to Atelier Scamit. They're very opulent and kind of beautiful, but I'll show you a good selection. If you're thinking about something, you want to make something occasion wear, there's some really lovely options. I also really love the children's pattern, the little pom-pom play suit. I think that's beautiful. Yeah, there's just a really nice selection of patterns, so they're definitely worth checking out. What else have I got to talk to you about? Oh, I've got something which Rachel has just got a subscription to, and she showed it to me and I quite want it too, but I thought I'd share it because it might be of interest, especially at the moment. It's a subscription box for art supplies, so it's called Artful, and each month it has a theme. This month, for example, was lino cutting, and Rachel got this beautiful book, a big piece of the stuff that you use to make the lino cut and all the tools and everything so that you could then do your own. It's done really nicely, it's all beautifully wrapped. This isn't the sponsor, I just thought as we are kind of you know, living a lot more at home now, I thought this might be something nice to get through your post box every month. And it's like, I like the idea that it's a different skill each month and you learn something different. So I just thought I would share that because I thought that might be of interest. So other things that are kind of interesting going on. Portia and Samantha Claridge Studio have done a collaboration, and I spoke about it a while ago. They've done a pin badge which all the proceeds go to a different charity each month. They've just expanded, they've got a PDF pattern now. It's an embroidery pattern, and I think they're expanding the range as kind of over the coming months, but they're definitely one to have a watch, and I think it's really nice to see, like, you know, all the proceeds of this going to charity, so it's a good cause and you get to treat yourself to something nice, which is good. Talking of good causes, there is Centrepoint, who are a homeless charity, have got an event happening on the 8th of October called Stay Up for Homeless People. And the concept is that you stay up overnight and stay up as long as you can, but doing something kind of fun while you stay up. And they have suggested that groups of people sew together, and I thought this would be something really nice for us all to do. And you can, it's to raise money for charity, but I thought this was a really kind of fun and interesting, I mean, I go to bed so early, I don't think I'd be able to stay up very late, but it's definitely a worthy cause. So I'll pop a link to that, because if you want to get involved, you could get a group of you together, you could all be on Zoom calls, or you're on Instagram or whatever, talking, you know, keeping each other awake. I mean, once I start a project, I reckon I could, yeah, 8 hours, just go. So yeah, I thought that was a really nice thing. So moving on from that, and sort of in the vein of things to get involved with, I'm just going to pop a link to a blog post that we did last weekend, because we've had quite a few emails. There are loads and loads of sewing challenges happening this month. I think September feels like a new beginning, and people want to kind of get back into sewing for summer holidays, and having been on holidays and, you know, feeling potentially life might start to feel a bit more normal with all the schools back. So we've got a top 5 sewing community challenges for September. So if there's anything that you go and check it out, and then you can dip in and get involved. They're quite nice to have. Quite a lot of them have daily prompts, and you post a picture, but there are some really good ones on there. So definitely go and have a look at that. Right, stuff that I am reading. So I've got a couple of articles, I've got a couple of magazines. The first article, I've got 2 Guardian articles. The first one is the taboo, how the word flattering has become the fashion's ultimate F word, which I thought was quite interesting. It's very well written and makes some really good points. So definitely go and have a read of that, because I read that and thought, The other one from The Guardian is Reuse, Renew, Recycle is making from old the new furniture of fashion. And this is a really lovely article. It's quite kind of in-depth. It goes on quite a lot and talking about sustainability. It's an interesting read, so definitely go and have a check of that. The other thing that I'm reading, I've got 2 magazines. So the first one is the new edition of Fibre Mood that has just arrived, edition 11. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, it's absolutely delightful. I actually haven't got a physical copy in my hands because it's just arrived at the warehouse, but they have really, really good patterns this winter. For anyone who hasn't come across them, they are a sewing pattern magazine. Each magazine has about 15 to 25, well no, probably more like 18 to 25 craft projects. I'm sorry, that is my dog. It's bin day, which means that she has to guard the front door at all times, so there might be a bit more barking. Anyway, yeah, so the Fibre Move has about probably 18 to 25 sewing projects in it. So it's either got, it's definitely got sewing patterns. It also has a couple of knit projects and a couple of like accessories or homeware projects. It's really fantastic. It's really good value actually, because if you get loads and loads of different patterns, and it's £15. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I felt like it arrived at just the right point. The other thing that I'm reading that is totally not sewing related, but I thought I might share, is The Modern House is a, I'm obsessed with property. I look on Rightmove pretty much every week, and The Modern House is an estate agent, kind of a different take on an estate agent if you haven't come across them. They sell really beautiful houses. They only take on, I think you submit to be to sell your house, and they only take on about 40% of the submissions. Beautifully photographed. They just do, I think, to me, and I haven't gone through the process, estate agency in a more interesting way. But they've just released a magazine, and I decided to treat myself for it because I've been away this week on holiday in Suffolk, and it's really lovely. Loads of really great articles. It feels really nice. I mean, it isn't cheap. I think it was £17. But it's really nice. If you just want a bit of slice of out of the real world, this is a very nice thing. I would definitely recommend it. So stuff to watch. I've got a couple of things, well, one thing to watch and a couple of things to listen to. The first thing to watch is on Netflix, and I'm sure quite a few of you have started watching this already. It's called Get Organised with the Home Edit. Not sewing related, but the concept is they go into people's houses and organise it and make it look beautiful. I'm really enjoying it. If you need something really light and fluffy to just have on in the background, this is the perfect thing to watch. It's very American. They're hilarious, the 2 girls who do it. But it's definitely very enjoyable. I'm really enjoying just having it on in the background, especially if I'm doing something that doesn't involve a lot of thinking work-wise. It's really nice to watch. The next thing is that I just thought I'd flag let you know, in case you missed it, we did a blog post talking of things to watch. We did a blog post a couple of weeks ago called The Ultimate List of Sewing Related TV and Films. We got so many requests, we've had so many requests over the last year about it. Lots of people saying, could you recommend some stuff to watch while I'm sewing? Either films that have a sewing theme or sewing programs, just with a kind of, or fashion. So I compiled a list of what I think is almost the ultimate selection of really good stuff to watch. So if you haven't tucked in yet, go and do it, because we've got a section on films, documentaries, TV programs, and then there's a little section with, if it's not strictly sewing but it's got amazing outfits, that got included as well. So there's some really, really good things in there, and if you are looking for stuff to watch at the moment, then definitely go and check it out, because, not to toot my own horn, but it's good. It's a good list. Okay, so a couple of things to listen to. The first one is a new podcast from Stylist magazine called Nobody Told Me. I have listened to the first couple. They're interesting. Each one has got, they pick a theme each week. They're interesting. I think they're kind of copying the premises of a podcast I've spoken about called How to Fail with Elizabeth Day. It definitely feels that sort of vibe, but they're really good and they're definitely worth listening to. They're about 25 minutes each. I'm enjoying going through those. So if you're looking for something to listen to, this is a nice option. And last but definitely not least, I've got the most wonderful podcast for you to listen to. So I'm a bit nerdy and I love, if anyone hasn't listened to this podcast, they should definitely go. It's the Radio 4 food programme. It's so fantastic. They span a load of different topics, but quite often they'll pick a theme and kind of do a deep dive into it. And the one that I think you should all listen to is the ice cream van celebration. So I'm sure there has been quite a bit on the news actually about ice cream vans and Corona and whether they should have been trading and all of that stuff. So it sort of starts with that, which was interesting, but then it dives into the history of the ice cream van. And if you are in the UK, they are something for me that I still feel excited when I see the ice cream van or hear their little jingle. It's just it's 25 minutes, it's wonderful. The Dan, he's the interviewer, his father owns an ice cream van and he's Italian and he's called Bobo and he's just like wonderful. So yeah, if you need cheering up, I would highly recommend this because it's a really fantastic programme. And then go back and binge, because there are some really good programs on this. I love it. If I'm having a day where I feel a bit down, go and have a listen to this because it's really interesting. So that is it from me this week. I hope you're all well, and I will let you get back to your weekend, and we'll be back soon with another video. Bye.